obviously, we went through, I would say, an interesting week, to say the least, when it comes to Jeudy. Jerry's been interesting across the board. Daryl, who, again, we're talking to coming up here at 9, has been fairly critical of Jerry, and can't say it's without good reason. Like, attitude has clearly shifted. He's in a negative mindset all of a sudden since Shedeur took over and is now the starting quarterback for whatever reason. And, I mean, also, I think there's some validity to Jerry being upset. Like, it's been a quarterback carousel now both years that he's been here. Hasn't been able to get consistent production this year. Has not been able to get consistent targets despite also not doing his part. Like, you go through and it's the media availabilities. It's then he fumbles the football. Then he's barking at Shedeur on the sideline, and they're in a heated debate on the sideline that obviously picks up steam on social media. And what does Jerry do this week? Blames it on the media for being like, of course you're going to try to take it and run with any negative sentiment you can. It's like, no, Jerry, I watched you and Shedeur get into a screaming match, basically, and then Ethan Posick have to take you away and break up the conversation.
Yeah, but Jake, you're not hip. It's always the evil Cleveland media, dude. What you're not aware of was it wasn't Jerry Jeudy that fumbled the football out of bounds. It was Mary Kay. It was that darn Mary Kay Cabot. You know what? She was running with the football down the field and she fumbled it. It wasn't Jerry Jeudy that dropped a football from Shedeur over the middle of the field. It was Dan Lobby, and had he just held on to that pass, the Browns would have got that much closer to a victory. Like, that's the dumbest excuse. And of course, like that was the only card that Jerry had up his sleeve that he could still play, because you played the not talk to the media card already. You've then thrown your teammate under the bus on national television when you were just berating him. I think it's fair to say, like, when you're clapping your hands in somebody's face, like, he was just berating Shedeur Sanders on the sideline. So the only card that he had left to turn to was just to blame the media card, because he's been a complete all-out embarrassment. I know you've been hot and bothered about Wyatt Teller and that benching situation. I have been as well. Is there not a more benchable player on the roster right now than Jerry Jeudy? And I get the other options aren't great, but that's what makes Jerry Jeudy more embarrassing. Like, Jerry, I get you're not a wide receiver number 1. You're not a wide receiver number 2. What Steve Smith Sr. said about Jerry Jeudy is the truth. Just a guy. That is Jerry Jeudy. But in this receiving room, you're having these troubles. Like, I watched Terrell Pryor convert from a completely different position with a bad quarterback and other bad receivers in his position group. He put up a 1,000-yard receiving season because just the volume was there that allowed him to do it, and he was just an athlete. Like, he was a quarterback playing receiver, and he found a way to get 1,000 yards. Jerry, what are you doing?
That was Jerry last year, was it not? Like, the volume was just there. I mean, I hate to say it, but I brought it up during the offseason. Like, in a lot of ways, without trying to be disrespectful to Jerry, Jameis Winston merchant. Like, Jameis is willing to take the shots down the field, is willing to just air it out no matter how many picks he threw, and Jerry benefited off of that with some big games on some big plays. And listen, does Jerry have a right to walk away from that play and be like, I should have gotten the ball? I was open. I ran the route correctly. I should have been the progression he was looking at. He should have trusted to throw me the ball. Yes. Like, Shedeur missed him earlier in that route. Well, Lance, obviously, who's joining on with JP coming up here at 10, he broke it down on social media and was like, Jerry was open. Like, Shedeur just missed the throw. And then obviously overthrew him later in the route. Yeah, like, you have a right to be, I would say, moderately upset. But do we really think you're solving anything by getting into a heated debate on the sideline with your quarterback, by taking it to the media after? Like, it is, everything is a combination right now where it's like, yeah, Jerry, if the Browns are having a bad season, you're having a bad season. By piling it on, nothing is helping. No. And I think the problem is that we saw it in Denver first.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that we know how this entire act plays out.
The red flags were there. We ignored them.
And listen, if you're able to put together a competitive offense that was actually, capable and competitive last year, and it was a team that was better, is there a chance that Jerry Jeudy is a more successful wide receiver and has a smile on his face throughout the year? Yes, because he did it for, even on a bad team, 11 weeks this year, 12 weeks? Like, it's capable. He can do it, but now it's divulged into what it is, to the point where, I mean, I think it's fair to ask the question right now whether or not Browns fans should be giving up on Jerry as a whole.
No, I've given up on him. Like, I have to be honest with you. I have to be audience with our listeners. Like, yeah, I've personally given up on him. I have. And, like, I had his back all season long because I got that he's frustrated. Like, dating back to his time in Denver, he never really had a quarterback. And that's why I was such a fan of that trade, because I was like, here's a guy that's probably not a wide receiver number one, but given the volume, he could be. And you were able to make that contract extension happen before Justin Jefferson got paid, before Jamar Chase got paid. I was a massive fan of the Jerry Jeudy trade because I was like, that's a tremendous value. You gave up a couple mid-round draft picks and you got ahead of an extension on a guy that could give you wide receiver 1 production. At worst, I thought he could give you wide receiver 2 production. He could be Jalen Waddle, and we need to go find our Tyreek Hill. No, he can't even be. He can't even be Greg Little right now.
Yeah, and it's bad. So the problem I have with this,
he's not even Muhammad Massaquoi.
Hey, that's one of my favorite deep cut names in an NFL conversation because nobody remembers Muhammad Massaquoi. But we're looking at it, and it's like, okay, I think it's completely fair to have given up on the fact that Jerry's going to be able to be a successful receiver with the Cleveland Browns because you saw it last year, but the way that everything has turned, his attitude has changed. The fact that the production isn't there, he's not, when he gets the ball, he's not being effective with the football.
Right.
We saw him start to give up on routes earlier on in the season, which I think he's done a better job at since Shador's been the quarterback, but clearly, again, the attitude shows through. I know everyone doesn't want to sit here and have a salary cap conversation, but Jerry Jeudy's almost $30 million in dead cap if you cut him in the offseason.
Yes, more dead cap. So similar to the Deshaun Watson thing, another guy that we're married to, even though he clearly doesn't want to be here and nobody really wants him here.
Yeah,
Laser eyes, Andrew Berry.
That's kind of what you're walking into, right?
The touch into this situation. The man that can't be touched. The executive that had one passable draft class because he found 2 running backs and a defensive tackle. Yes. Good work. I stare at it and I just don't think there's a way that you can actually legitimately move off this contract with Deshaun's contract on the books. And keep in mind, your dead cap still, if you were to trade him, the dead cap hit still comes through. You can't avoid it. And I think for a lot of ways, you have to find a way to fix things with Jerry Jeudy because the money there, but also you go through and look at what this team has to build towards. You're already having to find, especially if they screwed up the Wyatt Teller situation, you're talking about legitimately, potentially having to find 4 to 5 offensive linemen this offseason. Yeah.
You already have to find 1 to 2 wide receivers and, keep the defense working the way that it is, probably patch up some other spots on offense. Who knows what's happening with David Njoku?
Right.
All of those things play out into it. I don't know that you can go out and try to find a wide receiver 1, a wide receiver 2, 4 offensive linemen in one offseason and expect anything to look different from what it has been this year.
I wonder if, in terms of, mending some of these relationships with, Wyatt Teller and Judy, you think a new coach would help with that at all? I kind of wonder if, I don't know, because I just don't know. Maybe Judy really likes Stefanski. I kind of doubt that, but I'm not sure of it. I wonder if they brought in a new head coach that guy could sit down with Jerry and kind of just sell him on, we're going to make you a focal point. Same thing with Wyatt. If a new head coach got in here and Wyatt Teller is a free agent, you get him on the phone and you're like, hey, I don't know what happened with the benching situation, but we need you. We need you to be the starting right guard. I wonder if a new coach could mend some of these what feel like fractured relationships with veterans that should be dependable players for the Browns right now.
I think it's a sticky situation. Depends on the coach, depends who's there, depends on what organizational changes are made. Can you go through and actually fix those things? I would think for Jerry, until you get a quarterback in the room that he trusts, you're probably not fixing that unless Shador goes out there and feeds him the football and starts hitting him open. Jerry's attitude's probably not going to change. And is there a honeymoon phase? Maybe. Does that actually fix the problem for more than a few weeks? Not if the product doesn't change. You probably see Jerry go back and do the exact same thing. So, it's just a brutal situation. But I can't sit here and be mad at fans if they're telling me I have no faith in Jerry Jeudy even to be a wide receiver 2 on this team and to not be a negativity around the locker room while the Browns still attempt to try to figure this thing out.